So I gave myself an assignment. Write down 3 things I dislike about myself and then counteract that with 3 things I do like about myself. Off the bat, I am an extremely judgmental, kind of a bitchy person. I'm not gonna lie. I do have this habit of within 30 seconds deeply psychoanalyzing people I just met, and it's not great. But I do try to not externalize that. I never want anyone to ever feel like I'm judging them. I just think it's a habit. I don't know if it's I don't know. It's just something I do. But I will say, even though I think these bitchy thoughts, one thing I do like is that I always try to unpack that. And I try my best to get to the root of who people are. I try to I just have an interest in learning why someone is this way. So maybe that's also why I am so judgmental, because I'm just curious about why that person is that way. So I gave myself this assignment because I was journaling about shame and how it's this self-imposed prison that I put myself in. I was thinking about why people feel shame. And I do think a lot of the awful, harmful things people do is just symptomatic of these feelings of shame. And I think the antidote to shame is just confronting those parts of yourself that you're ashamed of. Because I really do think that shame, it just stems from delusions of grandeur about yourself and your ego. I think we feel so much shame because we're no, everyone else is a bad person except me, and our ego is protecting us. And then whenever we're confronted with something that makes us realize that we are also a flawed person, then we feel deeply ashamed of it. If we just confronted it more, we would feel less shame. This is me talking to myself, by the way. I'm very fascinated by the concept of ethics and what makes a good person a bad person, what makes a bad person a bad person, what is a good person, what is a bad person. That's why I loved the drama with Zendaya, Robert Pattinson. Zendaya's character a bad person for planning a school shooting? Or is that just a result of her feeling deeply isolated and alone in an environment where she has no other tools on how to deal with these thoughts that she's having? Is she a bad person? I don't know. That's for you to decide. Actually, I don't think she is, but whatever. What I think makes a bad person is someone that knows they're doing harm and is not willing to confront that or change over a long period of time. I say over time because I just think this idea of what is good and what is bad, what's a good bad person is so malleable. We can change. You can do bad things and not be a bad person. But if you keep doing that shit, then you're kind of a bad person, if you keep doing that shit, okay, time to wrap it up. But yeah, I think this work has been difficult for me because I have been in many situations where I have been objectively the victim, many instances of emotional abuse. I think in my head I put this barrier between myself and someone that would do something like that, someone that would be abusive. And I think that's led to many instances of cognitive dissonance. I would do something that was bad, it was straight up bad, but I think the feeling of shame I felt from that was very overwhelming. Because in my head I was okay, I did something that's bad. I'm a bad person just like this bad person. But that's not true. I just did a bad thing. I'm not a bad person. Like I said, when you keep doing bad shit, that's when A plus B turns into D, then it gets rewired. There has to be a point where you have to intervene and be okay, yes, I fucked up. How do I move forward from this? How do I not do that again? It's important to check yourself. Yeah, we all do shit. We are all flawed human beings. We all be on bullshit. No one's Mother Teresa, And even Mother Teresa, she was on bullshit. I don't know. I realize I've hold on to way more shame than I ever thought I did, even for the most innocuous things. And it's funny because I realized that and then I'm damn, I'm deeply ashamed of how much shame I feel. Diamond, come on. We're working on it though, we're working. Okay, now I'm gonna unwind for the day. I made some tea. Now let's get cozy and do a little skincare. This video is in partnership with La Roche-Posay. Thank you. I wanted to talk about some skincare because I feel like this is the perfect segue. We're relaxing, we're unwinding. So I have this little zit here and we need to fix her. I love keeping this La Roche-Posay benzoyl peroxide on hand for moments like this. It targets the acne causing bacteria right at the source. So it just gets straight there, There's no peeling, there's no flaking, and you will literally see a difference with the acne within a day. The next day, that zit might not be there no more. I don't know. You don't need a ton at all. I take a little dot and I just go bloop, 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 bloop. I definitely consider this one of my skincare essentials. It keeps my acne at bay. Thank you so much, La Roche-Posay. Also, I think something that's really been helping me unleash the shame I have in me is reading a lot of memoirs, listening to a lot of interviews by older women. This is what I'm reading right now. Walking through clear water in a pool painted black. This is about Cookie Mueller. From the very beginning of the book, we know she dies from AIDS. I think she is just, you know, the quintessential free-spirited hippie. This is just detailing. I mean, I'm only like 100 something pages in, but it's detailing her life. You know, she does LSD every fucking day. Within 100 pages, she's gotten raped. No, she's gotten raped and kidnapped. It's not like light content material, like it's not fun stuff, but I think I just have an appreciation for how she writes about it. You know, she's very laissez-faire about it. She's like, that was not good, it wasn't great, but it happened and life fucking goes on, you know? I love reading about free-spirited women because I feel like that's a side of myself that I didn't really embrace until fairly recently. I think I was just kind of embarrassed about it. I don't know. Like, I genuinely think the only point of life is to have fun. Well, it's not the only point, you know. I think it's important to work towards something and build a life, but at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, what is the fucking point, you know? And I just, for the longest time, I just thought that meant, like, I'm not a serious person. I was embarrassed about it. But I think I'm a deeply serious person. Honestly, I think I have a good balance. I thought feeling this way made me immature. That's what I thought. And the more I consume media like this, the more I realize, the more it helps me feel more in touch with myself. And it makes me realize that I don't have to so deeply analyze every fucking thing. I'm someone that prioritizes fun. And that's just like who I am. It doesn't mean anything deeper than that. You know, it doesn't mean I'm an immature child. I just like having fun. Like, I don't know. I think it's so important to seek out media literature from like-minded women as yourself. It makes me feel a lot less obtuse, a lot less alone in my thoughts. Okay, I'm gonna read this some more, but bye. Love you.